Welcome to the Information Man show. Let's get it going.
Tell the truth.
I don't mind if you don't listen that much, but some of y'all don't listen at all. The same shit they be pushing y'all's buzz. You got a grown man having withdrawals. I don't mind if you don't listen that much, though I just mind what you say for the crowd. Cause some of y'all don't listen at all. Some of y'all don't answer that call. Realize the movie that I was watching, it's the end of the world. Illuminati is coming.
Tell the truth.
Gather the boys and girls and watches it all unfurls. They clutching at all their pearls and no one asking for guidance. Stimulus check, won't you cash app that? I got niggas and they said that respect they black. Politicians and they said don't know how to act. That's why we sitting on the wrong track. Back to the long track. And it's okay to be rich. My mama always told me I was destined for greatness. But my mama also, she told me take care of the kids and everybody around the world that can't fight for it. So it's a Kuna Matata, beast on the water, pray to provider. Please don't divide us. Keep that and try to face your intruder to be someone brighter. Yeah, I don't mind if you don't listen that much, but some of y'all don't listen at all.
The Information Man show.
It's got a grown man having withdrawals. I don't mind if you don't listen that much, though I just mind what you say for the crowd. Cause some of y'all don't listen at all. Some of y'all don't answer that call.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
It's got a grown man having withdrawals. I don't mind if you don't listen that much, though I just mind what you say for the crowd. Cause some of y'all don't listen at all. Some of y'all don't answer that call.
Tell the truth.
What's up, everybody? Peace. Welcome. Welcome to the Information Man show.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
All right, everybody. Peace. Welcome to the program today. Thank you. This is going to be a great show because, you know, a lot of people on YouTube have been talking about this case. Tasha K, we know she is one of the big dogs as it relates to blogging on YouTube. And of course, we know about Cardi B. She's an entertainer. A lot of us know her from Love and Hip Hop, and she's hit the entertainment by storm. You may agree or not agree with her style, but she's hit entertainment by storm. And of course, this going all the way back to 2019, there was a defamation suit against Tasha K for libel, defamation of Cardi B's character. And Cardi B has been steadfast in pushing the issue. And of course, we all know that there was a trial. And it looks like, let me put something up on the screen here just as a reminder. I'm going to bring in the empowered Esquire. She is our attorney at law. But let me just put this on the screen just for you to see right here. So Cardi B was awarded $1.25 million, and she got additional $1.5 million in punitive damages plus $1.3 million for her attorney's fees. And I'm going to have the empowered Esquire talk to us about those attorney fees and how is she able to do this. In a lot of streams that have been happening over the week since this whole thing broke out, that Tasha K lost this particular case, a lot of people have had their various opinions. Well, what I want to do today on this show is this is the Information Man Show, and y'all know how I do over here. I tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
Is that instead of getting into innuendo and gossip and what have you, we all have our opinions, of course. We have a lawyer, the Empower Esquire. Y'all know her very well. She's been on the channel many times. We're going to have some logical conversation based in truth, based in the law.
Tell the truth.
With the Empowered Esquire, as you see her right there, very lovely lawyer, attorney at law, and former prosecutor. So she has a wealth of experience. And we're going to talk about this situation. And one of the biggest questions I must ask that needs to be asked, and I don't hear enough people talking about this, is what is the implication? What is the ramification? Let me say it right. Ramification, the going forward as it relates to how this will affect other YouTube bloggers in general across the world who blog about celebrities and the gossip of celebrities. And what are the ramifications? How is this going to affect other YouTubers down the line? And you may say, well, no, it's not going to affect them if they don't say anything that's not truthful. But see, YouTube is a company, and they're going to do what's in the best interest of YouTube. And I'm sure that YouTube is going to try to protect themselves at some point in time. And they may just create another rule to put a clamp on potential lawsuits against YouTube, because we don't own this platform. We're simply using space on their platform, and they might want to protect themselves. But I'm going to ask the attorney, the Empower Esquire, about these particular issues. So I want to thank everybody that's here. Another thing I want to remind people right now, as you can see, I'm on Roku TV, and I want to give some respect and love to a dear brother out there, brother Ben. And let me put this right next to me, Ben of the BS3 network. If you have Roku as a part of your package at home and you can watch this live on there, go and look at the BS3 network, live network TV on that package, and you will find my show slotted for Sundays around this particular time. So there's an audience out there that'll be watching this right on their TV screen in their independent cable package, Roku TV. So I want to thank him very much for bringing me on board to his network. What's going on, Brother Ben? I know you're out there in the Facebook world. And I want to thank everybody that's watching that will be watching on Facebook. Sometimes I even get bigger views on Facebook. It's interesting how it works. But peace to everybody out there listening on Facebook and all the different social medias, Twitch, and everybody in the chat room. I really appreciate everybody that's come over, that's in the chat room, that's rocking with us. Let me bring her on as I change. You know, I have so many scenery changes up here. It's kind of funny. And so we're going to look at the law. We're going to look at what was the biggest award. I think Empire Esquire talked about there being a huge award of about $38 million in defamation damages. I was just talking to her before we went on. There was also the Dow Jones many years ago in 1997, they had a defamation case brought against them, and they had to put out some big time money. So we're going to talk to her, get her legal opinion. I'm very curious, by the way. I've got to ask her this question. This, I believe, is the lawyer or one of the lawyers for Tasha K. And I believe this is a defense lawyer. And everyone's been asking on YouTube, why did Tasha K go with a defense lawyer? And I was over on Nappy Yankee's channel the other day, and Nappy Yankee had, I think it was Lady 747 made a very good point that I guess Tasha K back in the day, I'm not trying to disparage the sister at all. Tasha K, I guess she had some problems back in the day, and maybe these are the defense lawyers that she had back in the day that helped her in her cases back in the day when she had some criminal issues, allegedly. I mean, and maybe that's why she stuck with this team, because they were there for her when she was fighting other situations early on, before she became a sensation on YouTube. I don't know. I'm gonna ask those questions of the Empowered Esquire. So with that said, everybody, thank you again. Let's bring her on right now and get into this right now. The Empowered Esquire, my sister, thank you for being here, and thank you for your patience. Thank you for coming over and joining us. I know you've been doing a lot of work on your channel around this issue, so there may be some legal verbiage, legal language that you will be repeating over here that you've said many times on your channel. But let's repeat it, because I think people need to understand what's going on here in this case. Let's get away from the gossip and the innuendo, and let's get to what the facts are. So with that said, thank you for being here, sister. And I'm going to clap for you again.
Thank you very much, Information Man, for having me. Can I just say, on behalf of all fellow content creators, we need an Information Man production, live stream production course. I mean, your background, your lighting, your music, everything. We need an Information Man live stream production course, and I would pay for it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Look, thank you for having the time. I know you told me that you got a lot of things going on at home, and so you're not going to see her live today. You're going to see her behind the avatar, but we know what she looks like. We know she's a beautiful woman and an intelligent woman and a lawyer. And give us your legal take on what we have just witnessed as it relates to the Tasha K and the Cardi B defamation case, if I'm correct.
Right. So as to your first question regarding, what the ramifications could be, YouTube has an entire team of lawyers that are supposed to be doing what is called risk management. So in-house attorneys, the number one thing that an in-house attorney is supposed to do is lower the risk of the corporation or the company that they are working for. So the minute that you see someone on your platform actually being found liable in a courtroom for something they did on your platform, instantly, their lawyers are working overtime right now to check their risk, to make sure that Cardi B can't sue them next. And it's very likely that they will implement some new measures to make sure that they are not at risk for the content that is being produced by the people that are on their platform.
Right. Because I don't think that YouTube is going to risk their platform for a few folks out here who are maybe being reckless with the things that they say, making up. I'll give you an example. And I'm going to play the audio of her speaking of Tasha K. And once again, I'm going to repeat this. This stream is not to put Tasha K down. I'm not trying to trash her. That's not the kind of channel I have over here. We're simply trying to look at the legal ramifications of this and what this means. But I have to say this. When Tasha K went live and explained how she wants to fight this all away because she said that it's a big machine that she went up against and that she didn't have a chance. She made a statement saying that her company, or what she does on her channel, is that she creates news. And that was a red herring in my ear, because the last time I checked, you don't create news. You actually report things that are factual. When you use the word create, that in my mind means that you're it automatically gives an inference in someone's mind, educated guess, that, are you saying you're making up news? I think you should never use terms, in my opinion, like I'm creating news. No, you report the news as it happens and you try to be factual, objective, but you don't create something, because using that type of language will make people believe, oh shit, you're saying you make news? I'm just saying. That was one of the things I heard her say when she gave her opening statements to her fan base that I thought was problematic. You don't create news. What do you think? Is that problematic from a legal point of view, Sister Empower Esquire TV?
Absolutely, it is. You are right on the money, information man. You report news. You do not create it. And that slip of the tongue for her may actually be telling us to what she knows that she is doing. And supposedly she admitted that she knew that what she was reporting was false. So she is creating her own news, allegedly, right?
Mm-hmm. Allegedly.
Now, what she tried to do, and I don't think this is something that really anyone else has discussed, which gives me a chuckle, because there are many attorneys who have, quote unquote, covered this case on YouTube. And quite frankly, I don't think I've heard any really in-depth legal analysis. Other than, of course, what I did, not trying to be, not trying to toot my own horn, but that's just my opinion. Mm-hmm. So when you hear that Tasha K admitted that she, quote unquote, lied, the reason, I think at least, the reason that she admitted that it wasn't true is because she had hoped that she could slide in through a little exception to defamation called satire. So when you are being entertaining or satirical, you can outright lie about someone and it is okay. Hence why Tasha K said, I knew it wasn't true. It was for entertainment. It was for entertainment. She was trying to slide in through the satire exception. Mm-hmm. But satire has to be extreme. It has to be exaggerated. It has to be almost comical in the way that it's presented. So think about like when you see an SNL impression or a Mad TV impression, right? They may have, for example, like Candace Owens eating her husband's fingernails or something weird, right? And we know that's not true, but Candace Owens cannot sue them for defamation for insinuating that she does that, because it's obviously extreme and not true. Mm-hmm. That is not what Tasha K did. She presented something as though it was news.
Okay. Let me do something real quick. I should have did this in the beginning. Let me just say shout out to some folks in the chat room. We've got Gregory X coming in the house. We got Nappy Yankee. Make sure you check out Nappy Yankee's channel. You don't know what you're missing. He gives you great commentary with that microphone voice of his, most definitely. Atavius Prime is in the house. We got Cold Hard Truth in the house. Thank you for being here. And we got my man right here. We got Me Too and I. Hey, make sure y'all check out their channel. That's my fraternity brother. 06 to you, brother, in your significant other. I appreciate that. Thank you. And then we got Sister Erica, who's coming over. Appreciate her being here. We've got Golden Melanin in the house. Cold Hard Truth, as I said before. Keith Weston is coming in the house. And a brother that I'm glad to see over here, a guy, Nollywood Jr. Peace to you, brother. Glad to see you here. Pamela's. Beverly Palmer's is in the house. We got Midnight Green in the house. Thank you for coming over, Midnight Green. And we got the lovely Life Magical Journey in the house. Thank you. Thank you for your patience and waiting for us to go live. We got Jeff Jones in the house, and everybody in the chat room, especially the moderators. If you see those Russian bot words, anytime you see that, get it out of there immediately. You see those weird writings and Russian and unknown writing, get it out of there as soon as possible. And we've got my sister on the town with Tanya from the 5 Black comics that I had on the show. They are fantastic. Got to have them back over again. Thank you, sister, for coming on over. We got Old Reliable in the house. We've got Miss V in the house, definitely coming in strong. And now we've got, I'm not going to put that up because I'm sure you all have blocked this individual out of there. Look at that nonsense right there. That's what I'm talking about. Always got the haters coming around. And now we got Donna Just Being Real. Good to see you, sister. It's been a long minute since I've seen you. The 5 Black comics are in the house and loving them coming over here. I had a great interview with them. They are fantastic. Got to have them come on. They have been in the entertainment business and they give great social and political and cultural commentary. Now we've got Empress KIYA in the house. Thank you for being here. We've got Speak With Your Girl. I thank you for being here. Who else did I miss? Just Kevin's World. And I'll do the best I can to shout people out as much as I can. We've got Bonnie Rose. We got Tawana is in the house. That's my girl right there, Tawana. Tiffany is in the house. Oh, it's good to see you, sister. Man, it's good to see you. I hope you're live streaming again. I hope you're doing your YouTube thing. I got to get back onto your channel, but I'm so glad to have you over here. It's good to see you. And what have you? Ism, never do mism. What's going on? What's going on? And then we have the one and only, when you want a place that you can relax and have a good time and laugh and enjoy yourself and get away from the serious kind of content that I do over here, then you've got the House of X Entertainment Incorporated. Yes. And then we've got Natural, and she sells natural, good hair products, beauty products, the whole 9 yard clothing. Help her out, subscribe and check out her channel and give her support. And everybody that's in the house, let me see, we got 30. What's going on, sister? Unicorn, Savage, what's going on? We got Back to the Basics. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid I've got to get back to the Empowered Esquire to get back on track. I will periodically shout people out as I can, but we got to stay on topic here. So the Empowered Esquire, like I said, you can't create your own news, and that's going to get you in a pickle big time. Where do you, in your legal opinion, believe that Tasha K went wrong? You were saying that you can't make up news. You can't create innuendo. You can't use, a lot of people think that if you use tongue in cheek, as you said, if I'm just doing a tongue in cheek commentary, that's going to protect me. Tell us why that's not true.
So, well, there's a couple of things I want to address before we move on. Because,
yes, I'm sorry.
Things past me. First of all, you're an alpha?
Yes, I've been a member of Alpha Phi Alpha since 1989.
Wow. Well, hello, Brother Greek. I did not know that. You can't slide that one past me.
Oh, okay. We'll be talking.
Now the next thing, it's Empress Kaya. I've asked her how to say her name before because she's on my channel often.
Empress.
So
okay.
Just so you know.
Yeah, I always use. Yeah, I'm bad with names, and everybody knows it. But Empress Kaya, thank you for coming over. And we've got this brother here, Perspective, who's come on over too. And but thank you. We got Maurice Miller in the house as well. Old Reliable. And thank you because you just helped me out with what you just said. Uh-oh, are you there?
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you kind of went out for a minute. Okay.
So yes, and I also wanted to second your hello to Nappy Yankee before I moved into answering your question. So the reason that you cannot just give commentary and then say, oh, it's for entertainment and think that you're okay to lie, especially when it comes to Tasha K's position, is because satire has to be extreme, right? So number one, it's not satire if it's not extreme. And then number two, if you report it because you think it's true, right? So let's say hypothetically, Tasha K initially thought it was true, which is what it seems like. It appears like she initially thought it was true.
Yes.
She was then contacted by Cardi B's representation, right? And told that it was not true and told to retract. Now, if she would have retracted at that point, I think she would be just fine. So I truly think her biggest mistake was when it was brought to her attention that it was not true, she did not retract.
Wow. Yeah, because let's go back. Remember, she was being asked to take the videos down. She was being asked to take those videos down. And in her opening speech or her opening live stream that she did just the other night ago, she said that she was steadfast in not wanting to take them down. She didn't feel that she needed to. And her whole argument was that she's kind of fighting for herself, but at the same time fighting for the little people. And then I got to be honest, I think sometimes people misunderstand the First Amendment right, meaning your freedom of speech. I think people misunderstand that to believe that they can sometimes say anything about somebody, and that no matter what you say about a person, that you are ultimately going to be protected under your First Amendment right. The Empowered
Right.
Esquire, can you explain to us where that is true, but also not true?
So I think you're very right, information man. A lot of people think that their First Amendment rights give them the right to say all sorts of language that it quite frankly doesn't.
Yes.
So your First Amendment right to freedom of speech does not give you the right to say something about someone that is not true, particularly something that has to do with their livelihood, meaning if someone's, started an awful rumor about you or your channel, info man, right? Something that has to do with someone's intimate life. So for example, what Tasha K did, the H word she used, right?
Hmm.
Your First Amendment, your First Amendment freedom of speech does not give you the right to say things about someone that is not true. It also does not give you the right to say things about someone that would incite other people to hurt them. So, for example, if someone were to say, oh, well, individual A, he beat me up and I was helpless, and knowing that it's not true and that it would cause other people to want to then go and attack that person, that's not covered by freedom of speech. Another thing that is not covered by freedom of speech is hateful speech towards someone based upon their color, their religion, their creed, where they come from, things like that. So there are many types of speech that are not covered under freedom of speech. Oh, also, of course,
Yes.
anything that sounds as though you are trying to overthrow the government, that is also not freedom of speech.
Not freedom of speech. Yeah, you definitely have it. Let me see your transcript. You got the mod up. What's going on, Big Dog Philly OG? Somebody else. Now my damn clock alarm is going on. Everything's weird. And let me say peace to Sister Major Change Group. I want y'all to check out each other's channels. If you have a chance, take a piece of paper and write each other's names down and go back to each other's channels and write down each other so that you can support one another. That's very important to help one another out. That's how we do it over here. And while you're at it, if you got cellular phones, you got tablets, you got an iPhone, you can start sharing this video to your social media right now. I would appreciate that, everybody. Let me ask you, counselor, why do you, in your legal expertise, why did Tasha K, or that's what's been put out there on the YouTube streets, that she used defense lawyers, who many on the YouTube streets and social media and all about are saying maybe those lawyers were out of their scope of practice? I want to be delicate here because I know that's your colleagues, but what are your thoughts?
So I actually covered this in depth in the live that I did after the verdict, after
Yes.
Tasha, no, not after the verdict. The first live that I did discussing the trial, I covered this issue. So you were mentioning that someone had said that perhaps Tasha K had retained these attorneys from when she had criminal defense issues or et cetera, et cetera. And while that is an interesting theory, it is not relevant. So think of it this way. If I had a lawyer that represented me when I was in a car accident, and then a few years later, I need to get full custody of my child, I'm not going to use that same attorney, right? Especially if that is not their realm of practice. So whether or not she hired them in the past is actually not relevant. Why she would have chosen for this type of case to have criminal defense attorneys, if you look them up, they specifically say they are criminal defense attorneys.
Okay.
So why she would hire criminal defense attorneys to represent her in a multi-million-dollar civil litigation is beyond me. And for those of you who might be unfamiliar with the law, there's civil and then there's criminal. The long and short of it is In a criminal case, someone could go to jail. In a civil case, someone just has to pay some money, right? Or refrain from doing something.
Right.
And as I explained in my live, they are two totally different ball games. That is why, for example, my firm does not practice criminal defense. We only practice civil litigation. And I personally do not think that you can do both. And that's my humble opinion. They are two totally different ball games. And this is coming from someone who used to be a prosecutor. So I used to practice criminal law. The motions look different in civil litigation as opposed to criminal litigation. The substance of the motions are different. The pre-trial motions, mid-trial motions, and post-trial motions are different. The appellate process is different. Everything is different. So an attorney who specializes in criminal defense, representing her in this case, was a terrible idea. And I think that is part of the reason why she went with this awful entertainment exception that isn't an exception at all, because it's satire or nothing at all.
Well, I want to be, I don't want to be, I'm just going to ask a straight up question. In your legal expertise, did Tasha K ill prepare herself for her case by going with defense lawyers instead of lawyers that have expertise in a civil case in this civil matter? Do you believe that that could be the potential reason why she lost this case to Cardi B? Because she said herself she felt that she was up against a machine, and that in her own statements and words that it's this machine of prostitution and drugs in the entertainment industry in Hollywood that wants to spin a narrative for young people to believe in? Or do you think it's just sour grapes on Tasha K's part because she simply did not have the right defense? And do you believe if she had the right type of lawyers, obviously, could this verdict have been different, or maybe there would have been less damages that would have been levied on her? What are your thoughts, counselor? I know I said a lot there.
That's okay. As I said the last time I was here, I've become a pro in information man speak. So what I do when you're speaking is, and I think it may be a lawyer thing as well, but what I do when you're speaking is I pick out the questions and I save them. So I know you're going to, keep talking and talking, but I've already put the question up in my mind,
Okay. I appreciate that.
No problem. So do I think this could have turned out differently for Tasha K if she had the appropriate attorneys? Yes. That is my humble opinion, but yes. From everything I've seen online, her attorneys are amazing criminal defense attorneys. They're really good at it, but they do not practice civil litigation. And I think that she could have been much better off with someone who does. And that is just the plain truth. Now, could they maybe be trying to foray into civil litigation? Yes, but you don't foray in. You don't begin to do with a multi-million-dollar case. That's like you taking your 14-year-old to learn how to drive and you put them in a NASCAR pit. Like, oh yeah, get in the race car, let's go. No. If they were trying to merge into civ lit, they should be doing that with a much smaller case, with much less to lose.
Right. Right. I totally agree with you. Let me ask you this question. We all were examining Polite and his circumstance. And a lot of us, including myself, we all made videos reporting on what the news had put out there for the most part. And Polite said that he was going to come for everybody. I'm going to go after all of you that have made videos. Can you explain to the public, listening public, viewing public out there, what's the difference between people making videos about Polite's situation and his potential being able to sue us or not sue us versus what Cardi B was able to do to Tasha K? Is there a difference?
So I chuckled because even when I would go live on Michael Nowak's case, I would see people in my chat, I'm sending this live to Polite.
Yes.
Send it to whoever you want to. I would literally say that. Send it to whoever you want to. It is not defamation to discuss something that A, has been on the news, and that B, is public record. So when you are analyzing a criminal case via the records available and the news coverage, that is not defamation.
Okay. So let me see this. Tasha K went wrong because she didn't make reports. Where Cardi B was able to get her is that she began to say things that were not part of a news report versus made up or created news. Am I wrong or right there, counselor?
Can you repeat that?
So basically, I'll give you this is a better example. Let's say that let's say Cardi B start talking about a few years ago how she would drug men and rob them and what have you, right? Let me just give everybody a quick little reminder of what I'm talking about. If I can find this. Brace your ears, everybody. Okay, so there Cardi B has come out publicly and said what she did to men back in the day, robbing them, drugging them, what have you, taking them back to a hotel room, and she said it out of her own mouth. Now, if I was to go and report that, or Tasha K or anybody on YouTube, then Cardi B cannot come for me. She can't sue you because she said these things out of her own mouth. But if I was to elaborate, counselor, and say that she did more things and embellished what Cardi B has admitted that she's done to men in her past, now that would be creating news that's not true. Am I wrong or right, counselor?
You are absolutely correct. You can repeat something that she has admitted to and said about herself, but you cannot add to it because now you are inventing things. You're creating things, as we discussed earlier. And during these moments where Cardi B would say these things, I would see that Tasha K would say, oh, see, she's not a good person. And oh, see, you're never going to win this case being, the way that you are. But the problem is, as we've just highlighted, that Tasha K reported things that were false. If Tasha K only reported that Cardi B said she used to set up men to be drugged and robbed or whatever she said in the clip, right? She'd be fine. But you cannot pile false statements on top of true statements and then say that you're covered. You're still defaming the person with every false statement that you make.
Okay. Let me read this. We were talking about the First Amendment, right? Because a lot of people like to stand by the First Amendment. As it says here, the First Amendment guarantees freedom concerning religion, expression, assembling, and the right to petition. It guarantees freedom of expression by prohibiting Congress from restricting the press. Okay. Tasha K sees herself as the press. And a lot of times we see the press as having this sort of open license to report any and everything that they want to report. Where does her freedom of press begin to end, counselor? Because I think Tasha K, in coming out publicly and speaking for her in her behalf, she sees this as an attack against her. She sees it as an attack against her as being someone that is part of the press. And she also made a statement in the audio that I'm going to play later where she said that her stories on her channel that she has reported on, she's made reports, have been used in investigations where police departments and various entities like the FBI, whoever, have contacted her to subpoena her videos or to use her information in their case. This is what Tasha K has stated when she gave her opening statements after this happened to her. Where does the line start to blur? Because there is the freedom of speech which we all have, and then there's the freedom of the press. Is there a difference here, counselor?
Yes, so freedom of press and freedom of speech kind of go hand in hand. Freedom of press just means that, let's say, right, the New York Times wanted to write an article about the clip we just heard of Cardi B. No one could stop them because it's something that Cardi B has already admitted, right? It's the same
Right.
concept. But the New York Times cannot add things to that isn't true and print it. That is defamation. So it's the very same concept. Now, the freedom of press extends a little bit further depending on if this journalist alleges to have a source, right? And so
Okay.
Tasha K did allege to have a source, but I believe that ended up being Star Marie, and that was debunked. So correct me if
Okay.
I'm wrong on that, right?
Okay.
But freedom of press does include that a journalist has a certain amount of leverage to rely on evidence provided by a source. And you'll very often hear Tasha K say, reporting on, anything, my source says, and that does protect her to a certain extent. But if
Okay.
someone really wanted to press her, they could take her to court and have her reveal the source. So
Okay.
it's not wise to say a source if a source does not actually exist.
Okay. Speaking with my girl, she made a good statement here. She said that Tasha K is not a journalist. She's a content creator. Yes, that is true. But when Tasha K gave her speech after all that has happened to her, she did sort of make a statement about the freedom of First Amendment right to speech, and sort of that she kind of sees herself as sort of like independent press. Even though she's not traditional press, she sort of sees herself as someone who breaks major stories, because she said out of her own mouth, and I'm not putting words in her mouth, that she's had major law enforcement agencies come to her to use her content or her news reports to levy for. And the reason why she said that, I believe, from what she was saying and I'm going to play it, so I'm not making up her words, is that I believe that Tasha K sees herself as a form of independent press, and that she should be afforded all those rights as any other press. Even though we may see her on YouTube as a content creator, does Tasha K see herself as just a content creator? Because when you hear her speak, her last speech that her last live stream, she wasn't speaking in terms of, I'm just a content creator. It was more about, I have a company, I have a brand to protect, right? I'm fighting a strong fight against a powerful machine that was coming up against me. And Tasha K said out of her own mouth that this powerful machine wants to destroy my company. They want to not only, she said that she doesn't believe it's just about the money, that it's more about them wanting to destroy her voice. What are your thoughts about that, counselor?
So I'd like to say that technically Tasha K is not a journalist, right? Because she did not receive any degree in journalism that we know of, right? Technically.
Right.
But we all have to remember that we are in emerging and changing times, especially when it comes to the internet. So, a lot of people like to kind of throw that at Tasha K. Well, you're not a journalist, you're just a content creator. But what she does is, in modern day and age, considered a type of journalism. I don't know if people know that, but reporting on celebrities is a sector of journalism. And so even if you did not receive your degree in journalism, if you are doing that type of reporting for a living, you can be considered to be a journalist if you want to protect your source or your information and you're taken to a court of law.
Mm-hmm. Let me just say this. I want to just say to, speaking with your girl, thank you for coming over. Thank you. And I don't have a problem with people in the chat room having opposing. I'm not, if a person has an opposing thought about what we're talking about, it's okay. Don't block them. Just if someone's coming in and they're just legitimately trolling, then you get rid of them. But I don't have a problem with people having opposing thoughts, because I'm not stupid. I know that there's people who definitely love Tasha K. They enjoy her content. They have learned a lot from her when she has let's give her credit. She was one of the first people to break the story about Michael Norwick, AKA Brother Polite. I got to give her credit. All right, let's just be honest. A lot of us didn't even know about that until Tasha K, at least what I believe, broke that story. And then a lot of us, we ran with the story and produced our own videos and did our own research. But let's be honest, Tasha K has revealed some information that has come to the light to be true, or allegedly true, that we have lied on. So that's why I'm saying I'm not here to put the sister down. We're here just to really examine from a legal point of view what went wrong in this case. And at the same time, we as content creators, we've got to be very, very, it's a slippery slope. We got to watch ourselves, because I guarantee you that YouTube is watching and they're going to protect themselves before they protect our behinds. And if need be, they might have to get rid of people that they feel could cause them to have a suit blowback on them. With what I just said, do you believe that there could be some blowback on YouTube? Because YouTube is a corporation. They have access to protect. They have a platform to protect. And they're not going to protect any of our dairy behinds over stuff like this. Could this just be the beginning of more lawsuits from celebrities and athletes who do not like what we have to say about them?
So yes, I don't know if you've noticed, but there are quite a few YouTube channels that allege that people are dead when they're not.
Oh my
That
God.
allege that people are hospitalized when they're not, right? Just as clickbait. And those people are those people are the most at risk, right? I mean, because that's just outright false reporting. So I believe, as I said earlier, that YouTube's attorneys are on it with the risk management, and they are currently reviewing everything to see how they can make themselves less vulnerable. Now, whether that means new terms and conditions, new waivers, or whether that means flat out banning people from the platform, we will have to wait and see.
Okay. Let me say peace to Club's Den, who's coming in the house. Thank you for coming over. And we got Q Talk in the house. Thank you for coming over, sister. We got my man Blue Jeans in the house. Good old Blue Jeans. Thank you for coming over, brother. Great channel. Check out Blue Jeans channel. Check out Club Den's channel. Check out Tawana's channel. We have a lot of great content creators that are in the chat room. We got Let Me See Your Transcript. Check her out. Check out Bonnie Rose. She has a musical, 24-hour musical channel. Definitely, again, Nappy Yankees in the house. And man, I just appreciate everybody coming over and hearing this discussion. I put on here, did you know this? Numerous United States, or in the United States, there have been states that have made defamation illegal. Although online defamation is not considered a crime. Now, you correct me if anything has changed, counselor. Although defamation is not seen as a crime in terms of online defamation, in New York, New Jersey, victims of defamation statements can file a civil lawsuit. How has this changed? Are they starting to change this and make this more of a criminal matter than a civil, or do you just see it staying at a civil matter?
I see it staying at a civil matter. And it depends on your jurisdiction. You know, a lot of what is considered to be defamation, it merges with other laws. You know, the law doesn't exist in a vacuum, you know, so there may be someone that is cyberbullying someone via defaming them. And there are federal laws against cyberbullying, right? So technically, that is a criminal case based on defamation.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Right, right.
So
we'll check this out. Where I live at in California legislation passed a law in 2008, counselor, which makes it illegal to post harmful information on the internet. Posting harmful information on the internet is a crime known as an indirect cyber bully. So in California, if you try this nonsense and if you try this in California, California ain't playing with you.
Right. And I doubt that Georgia has defamation on the books as a crime. When it comes to certain things, as we know, if a state is considered to be more progressive, then there are certain things you could expect.
Mhm.
And on a whole, Georgia is not. And when I say progressive, I don't mean better. Okay, everyone, before people go crazy, I just
Right.
mean progressive. And we all know what politically progressive means, right?
Right.
So I'm not
Right.
surprised that California has that on the books because that's a progressive type of law, right? It prevents a lot of these teen suicides from the cyberbullying because that's the group of people that are really at risk to ending their lives based upon the cyberbullying that they're dealing with. But
Right.
I don't see the state of Georgia. I highly doubt they do because they're just not as progressive.
Okay. Let me put another. Let me see. Which one do I have next? Let me see this one right here. Let me read this one, get your opinion on this. Since social media platforms are private entities, they are legally able to censor what their users post. While the First Amendment protects freedom of speech, it still allows individuals to be sued. So a lot of us on YouTube who get very upset when YouTube maybe shuts our channels down, they might censor what we're saying. The reason, well, even though we don't like it and we think that they're just targeting us, certain people, and certain subject matters that we talk about, the reason why they can do this is because since social media platforms are private entities, it's private, ladies and gentlemen, which means they set their own damn rules. And remember, a lot of us say, my platform. No, you're using YouTube's platform. You're an independent contractor. For those of us that are monetized, because YouTube gets 70%, you get 30% of super chat or whatever else is going on. It's a 50-45 split when it comes to the AdSense, if you even get any damn AdSense these days. And so because of that, they have the right and jurisdiction to shut you down or take your video down, even when we don't like it. What do you say to that, counselor?
Again, you are absolutely correct. I have had the experience, mind you, look at what I discuss on my channel, right? It's really just the law. And I have had the experience of recently having to scrap a video because I went to upload it and YouTube was just not having it. So, yes, this is their private platform and they can allow or disallow anything. And quite frankly, I am surprised that Tasha K's channels still exist. I think they've done the math on it and she makes them a certain amount of money, so they're letting her stay. But I'm surprised that they're letting her stay.
I'll tell you what. Well, you just said what I was going to say. If you are a big YouTube channel and you've got thousands and millions of subscribers, you're making YouTube a lot of money. The way YouTube works, when they push your video to the algorithms and more people click through it and it has click-through rates, they're going to keep pushing it because YouTube is only going to show videos that can make them money. So they'll keep pushing and pushing your video. Tasha K makes YouTube a lot of money because she gets the views. If any of you have a chance, do this. Go on your desktop and go into click live. There is a lot. There are live streams that are ranked on YouTube YouTube has this page where they rank the best or the top rated live streams based on how many people are watching. Do you know that there are shows on there where I've heard them talk racially? There's a guy on there, Steve Crowder, who has a show. He was talking about Dr. Martin Luther King like a dog. And then you have shows where they can talk about this virus or this monster that they won't let us talk about, right? And I'm like, but they're still letting them be in the top ranking of their live stream, and they're pushing them. That taught me a lesson that YouTube be on some BS, right? They are not doing that to those particular channels because those channels are bringing in money, moolah. And so if YouTube does not see your channel as relevant to their economic bottom line, no matter how good your content is, then they're going to penalize you. That's just my opinion. And when you do some research on YouTube, you see the hypocrisy 100%.
Yes, and I'll add that Kwame Brown had posted the other day a complaint about his videos being demonetized, and I just had to go in his comment section and let him know that's anyone who's teaching on YouTube, like actual teaching on YouTube.
Right.
All of my videos are either demonetized or quote unquote limited. I'm not
Right.
discussing anything inappropriate, especially
Right.
in comparison to the other foolishness on YouTube. But
Right.
they tell me that what I'm doing is not suitable for ads. Why? Because it's edifying. That's why it's
Right.
not suitable, because it's not trash and foolishness.
Right. But if you were getting 15,000 people watching you, 20,000, what have you, because when I go into YouTube's live stream rankings, I see gaming channels. I see channels where you got, I just call it as it is, white supremacist type channels. And YouTube is pushing them in their ranked live streams. That tells you everything you need to know, that when YouTube tells you, when you have these content creators who talk to you about how to create a channel and how YouTube treats everyone fairly, bullshit. They don't. They don't. Unless you're giving them plenty of ching ching. And that's just the bottom. That's what I have seen with my own eyes. So I think that is the one thing that is saving Tasha K's channel. If her channel was not relevant and she did not get all those views and click-through rates and all those sort of things that YouTube likes, then they would have probably said, you know what, we're going to have to let your channel go. It's just obvious to me. And I'm not saying this to say that I want to see her channel get taken down. This is not about hating on Tasha. I don't want to see anybody get their channels taken down. I don't want to see her get her channel taken down. But I think there's a lesson for all of us to learn in this situation with Tasha K for our own self, to realize that there are certain things that we may not be able to get away with when we begin to talk about these celebrities and various popular people, if we're saying things that are not based in facts. And if we're saying it as it's truthful, as if it's the truth, and we're not saying that it's alleged, and we're not citing our sources properly, now you're going to be in a lot of trouble. Let me read this right here and get your opinion about this. I didn't know this. There are two main types of defamation: libel or written defamation, slander or verbal defamation, when potential defamatory statements is made online or through social media. So how many cases have you personally, in terms of your colleagues, do you see a lot of these defamation cases coming to your doorstep, or people that you know in the legal environment that you're in, your colleagues? How often do you see this?
No, defamation cases are not common, because defamation cases are a hill to climb. They are actually not easy to win. So that is a testament to Cardi B's attorneys and to Cardi B herself. And it is also a testament to how false what Tasha K supposedly said was. It is not easy to win a defamation case. They are not common. And even when someone wants to sue for defamation, they very often are discouraged, number one, by the money they would have to spend, right? Which is a big mistake Tasha K made, because she poked the bear on someone who has the bag. So Cardi B has the money to spend on this type of case, where many people would drop it simply because they can't afford to, go forward with it. That's the first thing. The second thing is, discovery in a defamation case is grueling. It's digging all into your personal life. It's digging into your personal matters, your skeletons in your closet, right? Think about the fact that Cardi B had to give medical records with STI testing. So you don't see these cases very common, because either the person does not have the money to spend on it, or they don't want their entire life turned upside down in discovery.
Right. Now, I think it was a month ago, I was listening to the radio, and there was a report that Cardi B had come up with a negative STD test for the herpes. In the minute I heard that report, I said, personally, I said, that spells trouble for Tasha K. Because one of the things that was put out there, allegedly, is that it was alleged that Tasha K had made the statements that Cardi B was a carrier of herpes and that she had somehow given birth to a child that has a disability due to her sexual behavior, drug behavior, and this fact that she alleged that she had herpes. And the minute prior to this trial, the minute that the test was revealed that she was negative, and I know that people on YouTube are already saying that, well, you can have a negative herpes test if you're not having a herpes outbreak. That's not the point. The point is that she had a test that came back negative. Now, whether she allegedly broke out later on doesn't matter, folks. The fact is she had a test, which she was being asked to do. I believe let me ask you this. Was Cardi B being asked by the courts to prove her case by having a clean test?
That is a part of her case because she alleged that Tasha K was lying when she said she had an STI. And so remember, defamation is someone telling or saying something about you, right? Whether it's oral or written, people relax.
Right.
I mean, I swear sometimes people come onto YouTube and now they're like, Stickler McGickler. Relax.
Right.
So defamation is someone saying something about you that is not true, right? So
Right.
if you sue them, yes, you have to prove that they are lying. That is why it's such an arduous case. Because if someone says information man drinks boot juice, then info man, you have to prove that they're lying. You have to get a doctor to review the contents of your diet, review the contents of your stomach, and provide the reports to prove that you don't actually drink boot juice.
Right.
So yes, Cardi B had to take a STI test, but she also had to disclose medical records.
Right.
So if you're not in an outbreak and you're negative because you're not in an outbreak, your records will still show that at some point you had it.
Right. Because it's a fine-tooth comb all the way through. And I'm going to say this again, because I don't want to get myself in trouble. But the bottom line is people are saying, well, it can be negative, it can be positive, whatever. The bottom line is she took the test based on the court's order for her to do so. And she did it. She passed. And as you said, she went through another grueling test physically, and she went through with flying colors. So that does hurt, or it did hurt Tasha K's case. Now, let me speak with you, girl. I really appreciate you super chatting me. Let me just thank you right now.
Thank you.
And I'm going to have to get into the super chat music, but she wants you to answer a question, counselor. She says, Empire Esquire, can Cardi B attorney file an injunction because the lies are still being spread? Also, can they exercise 16-10-70 pre-jury against Tasha K? Who would file it? Cardi B attorney will inform YouTube with order. If I'm reading that right, what are your thoughts, counselor?
No. No. Tasha K is not spewing lies about Cardi B right now. In fact, Tasha K admitted on the stand that she lied. Remember, everyone, when Tasha K testified, she supposedly said, yes, I lied. I knew it wasn't true,
for the super chat.
but it was for entertainment. So there's no injunction to be filed. Tasha K is not currently doing anything that she cannot do. And she's not, from what I know, saying any lies about Cardi B in this moment.
Okay.
Also, injunctions, which, by the way, everyone, an injunction is when the court tells you cannot do something. Injunctions are also very hard to get because the court views it as a person's right to live, to express themselves, right? So you have to prove extreme harm to get an injunction against someone.
Okay. Sister, I thank you for that super chat. I appreciate you're always welcome over here. Very good questions. Once again, everybody, I don't care if people have opposing thoughts about this. We're not here to word is not the gossip of everything. We're looking at this from a legal point of view. This isn't about trying to trash Tasha K or Cardi B. This is looking at this from a legal point of view. This is what I do over here on this channel. We get to the facts and to the truth of things.
Tell the truth.
And not speculation and innuendo and gossip. We get into the facts over here with the attorney at law, the Empower Esquire. And for those of you who are wondering, oh, is she a real lawyer? Yeah, she a real lawyer. Check her out. She the real deal. I just want to say that. I just want to say that for the haters out there who are going to say, well, she ain't a real lawyer, this woman. And she has shown herself. Today she's on the avatar, but she has shown herself before. People know what she looks like. She's legitimate. I just got to say that, Esquire, because you're going to have people out there talking that, well, she ain't no real lawyer. Shut your damn mouth.
I don't let it bother me, Info Man. You know why? Because my degree is on my wall, as well as my certificate of good standing from the New York State Bar.
Right.
So I'm not worried. Someone came on YouTube the other day and someone actually screenshotted and sent it to me and they were like, this YouTube lawyer. And I was like, you think I care? You think I'm losing even a second of sleep over some random picture on YouTube saying that I'm not an attorney? Nope.
No, the bottom line is we know you're an attorney. You know you're an attorney. You're legitimate. But I'm just saying that because I know you're going to have some buffoon out there who's going to chat up here and try to question whether you are a lawyer, whether you are legitimate. Yes, she is legitimate. So I just want to, I just want to put that out there because you're going to have a buffoon out there who's going to have something to say.
Yeah, but you know what, Info Man? There's a reason that people do that. So I notice that people say that when I'm right. You notice that? Mm-hmm. When I am saying something they do not like and I'm correct, that's when they say that. Right.
Well, you know what? Truth brings it all to the light, and people go running away from the truth. Can we do this with the time that we have? I told you that I had what did I have here? Let's talk about this real quick, if you don't mind. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to put us down at the bottom here if I can. And let me take something off of here. You talked about this on your channel. Let me remove this. You talked about this on your channel right here. And this is the case. Tell us about this case.
Absolutely. So in this case, a businessman. So mind you, this plaintiff who won $38 million was not even a celebrity, everyone. He was just an everyday businessman who also dabbled in real estate. And he ended up renting this commercial property. He had a dispute with the owner over the property and ended up, I guess you could say, leaving the agreement. And so the owner of the property felt like he had been schemed, like, he'd been cheated out of the full amount of the lease. So the owner of the property went online. He went to Facebook and some other chat rooms and just started to speak negatively about this businessman, saying that he's a liar and a schemer and a fraud and all these things. And he did this for almost 4 years before the plaintiff said, enough is enough. You're ruining my business relationship with other people in the area, and I'm going to sue you for defamation. And he won $38 million.
Now, you mentioned on your channel that this was the biggest defamation case to date. And I had mentioned to you in 1997 that the Dow Jones got sued as well in a defamation case. But I think this one outranks that particular case. And this is just a regular person. This is not a celebrity.
Right. So it's the largest that I know of. When you mentioned Dow Jones, I said, I'd never heard of that one. So this case is the largest that I have ever heard of.
Okay. We were speaking earlier, ladies and gentlemen, that there was let me see this here. In the largest LIVO, this was in 1997. In the largest LIVO award in America history, a Houston jury yesterday ordered Dow Jones Incorporated to pay, a lot of money here, $22.7 million in compensation damages and $200 million in punitive damages. The author, so basically, this happened in 1997. That was the biggest reward in history. And then you have this situation right here that we just mentioned. Let me ask you something. How could it play out with someone on YouTube? Like, you see what happens on YouTube. People dox each other. People are taking people's family photos, pictures of children. People are putting out people's personal business, where they live, where they work, sleep, eat, putting out sensitive information about people's criminal background. All these different things happen on YouTube. How could this particular case open up the door for the average everyday person on social media to come after people, particularly on YouTube, that dox you or dox your family member or put out information that is harmful to one's reputation?
This makes a world of difference for the average Joe. And I think it will clean up the wild, wild west that is the internet. I think this, with this Cardi B case, will finally clean up the wild, wild terrain that has been the internet. People will have to stop the foolishness they come online to do. These quote unquote, let me take back what I was about to say. So the kid that you went to elementary school with who used to be a bully, right?
Okay.
He grows up and he realizes he cannot bully people at work or he will lose his job. So what does he do now? He goes to work, keeping all the pent up bully behavior inside. And then when he comes home, he goes on YouTube and spews lies about people and doxes them. And it is the new playground for bullies. And so what I think is people will realize that they need to just go to therapy. Because the bullying and doxing people online because you can't do it in real life, it's coming to an end. People are going to start suing people. By the way, if you feel like you are being cyberbullied, doxed, cyber harassed, feel free to contact me and we can discuss how you can protect yourself.
Right.
Anywho, so yes, people are really going to start suing. You know, the online bullies, you're going to start getting sued and your life is going to come tumbling down on you. The court is going to garnish your check for these judgments. So you may want to just go to therapy as opposed to using the internet as your bullying outlet.
So let me ask you this question here. And let me say peace to my brother, George Macomb. I think I saw him in the chat room. I didn't get a chance to shout him out. And Patora Afro is in the house. And Angelica is in the house. Let me give everybody a clap. Thank you for coming over. Really appreciate you all. We got April Carter, who made this statement. She said, Tasha K is nowhere near Wendy Williams. At least when Wendy Williams made mistakes on stories, she never has a problem correcting it. Okay. Thank you for coming over, April Carter, and making your statements. We got Be the Difference Clothing in the house. Mick Greger is in the house. Thank you for coming over. Let me see your transcripts in the house. Let me see here. 2.0 is in the house. Yes. What's going on, my sister? Everybody that's here, I really appreciate you coming over and taking. This is very important for all content creators to take notes on this. Because I do think this is going to change. This is going to create a ramification that can open up a can of whoop ass on any of us who cross the line. You may think that you're not crossing the line because you have freedom of speech. As we said earlier, you have the First Amendment, First Amendment right to your freedom of speech. You feel that it's just YouTube. We're just kidding around. We're just having a little bit of good, cool fun. But it could come back to bite you, and YouTube ain't going to save you because they're going to save themselves first. So everybody just keep that in mind. We got Nappy Yankee still in the house saying, I'm not taking down any. Now, wait a minute. This is the thing. I know we talked about this before. Polite, in this case, when it comes to Michael Norak, a.k.a. Polite. He can't make anybody take down videos because for the most part, people have basically played stuff that's documented on him, things that he has said out of his own mouth, things that he has done on video. So there's no way, Nappy Yankee, tell me if I'm wrong or right, counselor,
There
that he
is
could make us take it down.
no way. And let me add that I am doing a special workshop, totally free, by the way, for content creators. The tentative date is February 6th. I'm going to post on my channel an update for you all. I was waiting to announce it tomorrow, but why not? You know, why not give Infoman the exclusive, as Tasha K would say?
All right. The exclusive. All right. I love it.
So my law firm, Above the Bar Law Firm, will be holding a free workshop for content creators on how to protect yourself and how to avoid ending up like Tasha K.
I'm going to tell you that that's going to be needed. And I'm going to need to probably contact you because I'm actually, I have another channel that I'm working on. It's going to be a channel based on, when you talk about producing shows, the channel is going to be about YouTubing, content creation, live streaming, the proper gear, microphones, everything. I'll be giving tips and advice on that channel, and it's called Info Media. That's a 4th channel. Anybody can go over there and subscribe to it now. There's some content on there that will not be the regular content. I'm going to be loading up some videos. I'm going step by step, everything step by step. If you're trying to be a content creator, I'll also be going out in the field with my camera, out and about while talking about YouTube and social media. And so I definitely would probably need to get you on a small interview for that channel. That channel, the way I'm going about doing it, Empire Esquire, the content will be searchable content. So usually when you create a YouTube channel, they really recommend that you create content that is searchable to be able to create audience. So most of the content is about solving a problem, and it will be searchable content that I hope with time the channel will grow because of the type. And why I think it will is because it's not political, it's not racial, it doesn't have any of these things that kind of like will turn people off if that's not what they want to listen to. So and it will be one of those tips type programs.
Well, I cannot wait. You haven't created it yet, right?
Well, actually, I have the channel. And I'm already working on content. I just haven't uploaded the content yet. It's just go to Info Media, 2 words, and you'll see it. You'll see my the channel and the banner and all of that. There's 2 videos on that, and those videos are going to be scrapped because I was thinking about doing a different type of channel, and that those 2 contents represent that, but I'm going to be moving that off as I get into that content that I just spoke of. And so it'll be all the stuff that I employ on my channel, all the tricks and tips. The key thing to YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, is thumbnails and your keyword search, proper titles. I see people all over YouTube, and I can tell by looking at their titles that they're doing everything wrong. Matter of fact, you need to make sure that your about section of your YouTube channel matches the description of your keywords. There's a section where you put in keywords that must match what's in your about section. If you have a YouTube channel and you don't put down what your channel is about, you're hurting yourself. YouTube's algorithms needs to know what your channel is about to know who to serve your video up to the right people, along with the connection of your title. And when it comes to tags in the description in your video, it should overlap your title to your tags and your title to the tags in your video. If you're not putting tags in your video that are overlapping with your description, you're doing everything wrong. And then YouTube has a harder time sending your content out. So that's the type of stuff I'm going to be talking about on that channel. Just a little preview there, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I'm ready. I'm all for it because I'm always so impressed with your production. And, as I'm always telling my viewers on my channel, I'm a teacher and an attorney at heart, but the production side of it it's not, it doesn't come in naturally to me. Let's put it that way.
Right.
And I know that that's an important piece, so I'm
Right.
definitely
But
looking to
even
learn
without
more
the
on that.
production side, if you just get the metadata correct and you get the right SEO in your channel,
Yeah,
you're
that's
going to
also a big
see.
problem for me. A lot of
Yeah,
people have been telling me like
yeah.
there's something
I'm
going
gonna
on with your
I'm gonna actually have a one-to-one with you because once I talk to you about all you have to do is tweak a few things, and I would recommend you, if you have not done this. See, I'm giving away my show already. This is a side note, ladies and gentlemen. I know we're supposed to be talking about the case and everything. If you have not signed up for TubeBuddy, they have a free version and then they have a pro version. The pro version is like $9.99. The free version will allow you to still rank certain things. I would go for the pro version. With that will help optimize your videos because it will create tags and it'll let you know if your titles are good through search. It will generate and give you a score as to how good or bad the title is in terms of search. It'll also show you how much competition you have for that video. It'll give you a bar. So sometimes you could pick a title, there's very little competition, and that video could blow up. And then what happens is YouTube pushes your video through the algorithms. More people who have never discovered your channel will find you, and your channel will grow further and further. The key to YouTube is that you want to be seen in browser. When you go into your analytics and you see where is your video being pushed to, if you're not getting enough browser, that's hurting your channel from getting more people to find you, to subscribe to you, outside of your own personal marketing that you're doing. So we'll talk about that. That's a side note, folks. That's sort of what the channel is going to be about, the info media channel. So I suggest you all get over there and subscribe to that channel, because the information that I'm going to give you, I guarantee you will see a difference in your channel if you employ these basic concepts. And I'm not the only one applying. And look, whether it be Liberto Blake, the guy Nick, these guys talk about this sort of stuff. So people that have huge platforms have talked about how you should employ these type of techniques. But anyway, let's get back on subject. That is a sidetrack right there, advertisement. Let me ask you, let me put something else up here. I got to put this up here before we end today. And let me see here. What do I have here? Now, this is very important. That this is where people kind of laughed a little bit when Cardi B said that she had been feeling suicidal and stressed out by what she perceived or what she believed Tasha K was doing in her in the reports that she was making on her channel. Of course, Tasha K said in her recent video that she believed that, I don't want to quote Tasha K, but from what I got from the video, it appeared to me like Tasha K was saying that Cardi B was exaggerating this whole victimization, that she was a victim of Tasha K. And Tasha K kind of felt, I'm just giving my own inference of what I'm hearing in my own ear, that Tasha K's position is that, Cardi B is BSing around. She's acting like she's this victim here when I'm actually the victim of Cardi B's machine coming after me. But this is what people need to realize here. Online defamation can result in overall stress that may negatively impact your body, headaches, insomnia, memory loss, weakness, immune system, increased risk of heart attack, are all possible. What are your thoughts about that? YouTube is stressful enough. As long as you've been on YouTube, do you see that sometimes you got to take a break from it because it can be emotionally draining?
Yes, it can be very, very emotionally draining. Before I get to defamation, let me say this.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of the reason that, especially if you are a natural, I won't say perfectionist, but let's put it this way, especially if you are someone who cares about what you do, right? Meaning you take pride in the things you do. YouTube can be very stressful. I know that I, for one, get like really stressed out when I do a video and I think that, the live had issues. There were tech problems. Technically, it wasn't my fault, but that really stresses me out. Or I do a live and the lighting is messed up, things like that stress me out. Or even when you do a live in which you present so much information that you've worked hard on and then it gets like 100 views. What?
Right.
That's stressful, because you feel like I put so much into this and no one is even appreciating it. And that was a transparent moment, because I know a lot of content creators get more views when we do pop culture, popcorn stuff, and not things that we've actually put a lot of work into and things that are really teaching people.
Right. You're going to have I got to be honest with you, since we're on this subject matter. When I go into my analytics, the analytics in YouTube will basically show you what videos get the most views, what people really gravitate towards. And I got to be honest, there are some videos that I've done, especially the videos I've done on Polite and Umar Johnson. Those videos get huge views. A lot of the videos that me and you have done together have gotten great views. But sometimes I realize that, okay, that YouTube is telling you keep doing those videos and you get the views. But the problem with me personally, I don't know if this applies to you, is that sometimes I don't always want to do just those videos. However, you're supposed to do videos that do what? That the audience likes. That's not supposed to necessarily be about you. It's supposed to really be about the audience. But at the same time, as a person, you have principles and you have to say, you know what, this is not the only type of content that I want to do. And so personally for me, Sister Empower Esquire, I'm willing to take the hit on videos that don't get a lot of views. Like I've done videos that were educational about things, that are educational. And if it doesn't get as many views as I would like, I'm willing to take that hit because I think I'm doing a great service, putting out something that's very educational that our people need to hear about.
Right. And I'm not insinuating that, well, as you can see, I've done it. So I don't have to say that because you can see that I do it regardless. But I can definitely relate to you saying that sometimes it is not something, I had to sneeze. Sometimes it is not something that you want to discuss. I've been telling my audience for a while now, I'm trying to prep them that I am really getting over the pop culture. I'm not going to say pop culture, the entertainer and celebrity cases.
Right.
I'm getting over it. It's not something that naturally interests me. I really enjoy the law and the letter of the law and teaching that. And I segued into the, entertainment, celebrity, pop culture case lane because it brought people in, and YouTube told me analytically that that's what people wanted. But there are many times when I've considered just shutting the channel down, just shutting it down because I'm so over the celebrity stuff. I'm so over it. But that is what people keep telling me that they want.
What you could do, since we're on this subject, this goes back to the other channel that I'm creating, is that you might need to say, you may need to consider creating, and I know it can be, you might want to consider creating another channel to create a whole new audience and niche for that type of content that maybe the audience on your main channel just doesn't have an appetite for. So like on this channel, I'm not going to do YouTube tips on this channel. I have a few videos on this channel about it, but I'm not going to do it because it just doesn't jive with the content structure of this channel. So you might want to consider that. And so then those who like that content will just come over. So for example, people who are going to like the other channel that I have, because I created that news channel, the news shorts, and I'm actually wondering whether I should scrap that channel too and just stick with this channel, my podcast channel, and then put my energy into the info media channel. Cause I think that channel is going to take up a lot of my time because that channel from a cinema photo style is going to have a different look than this channel. And I think that's just something you may have to consider Sister Esquire.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think I'm gonna have to consider just merging into a new lane. I mean, I love
Yeah.
my Empowered Esquire audience. I
Yeah.
love them.
And
You
if you
know,
do that, I want to help
but
you
sheesh.
with, I want to help, I would like
Sometimes
to
it's like
help
I don't
you.
care. Nicki Minaj got sued again. I'm gonna be
Right.
like, ugh, you know?
But what you could do to balance it out is that you can keep that channel and give the audience what they like on that channel, and then give yourself a break from that kind of content by creating a channel that can create a whole new lane for you. And I definitely would be more than happy to try to like give you some tips and what have you, how to get that moving. Because what I know about YouTube is that there's an audience for everything, whether it be a small audience or a big audience. And I know on this, there are certain type of channels that you can create more reach with through the way you title things and depending on than other content. Because the stuff that we do on this channel and you do, it's trendy stuff. Those videos only last for so long. So what you want to do is think about a channel where you can create evergreen content. The channel that I'm venturing into gives me the opportunity to create that means content that will last forever. People will always be looking for that content, no matter how old it is. When we do these trending type topics, they only last as long as the trend is lasting, and then it's gone.
Right.
So the video doesn't have any more life. So I think to give yourself that double barrel, have a trending topic type channel, and then create a channel that could be potentially more evergreen content.
Thank you for that.
That's my advice. That's my advice to everybody, not just the Empire Esquire. But thank you. That's for everybody, and that's the kind of stuff I'm going to be talking about on that channel. The info media. The channel is already up, ladies and gentlemen. I just haven't dropped the content that's pertaining to what I'm talking about right now. I have content that I've worked on. I'm just getting ready. I'm going to launch it. I'm just waiting because I'm working on some more things. I got videos to create. I got to go outside. I got my cameras and all my little gadgets. And then I'm going to be doing mic reviews, and I'm going to go over what I have in my studio here that you should all potentially. The microphone that I'm using right now, you might notice that the mic is a little bit, the camera is a little bit different in clarity. I'm using on a Canon. I got a Canon 50 Mark II camera, and I'm using a 16 millimeter lens. It is the lens that gives you the look that you want. And this lens that I got is not a bad price. It's about I'll be honest, it's a $400 lens. It's the lens that makes the camera. And I'll be talking about that on that channel. But you can always start off with webcams, and I'll give you the best webcams that you should buy to start off small and build what you're doing on YouTube up little by little. You don't have to break the bank. And you know what your best camera is? Your cell phone. You have some of the best picture quality on these cell phones. You can even rig your cell phone into a webcam and then put it on airplane so that you don't get any disturbance. I'll do a video on that channel, that kind of stuff, you know? I know we gotten a little bit off subject matter. Is there anything? Let me see what folks are talking about in the chat room here. We got Nappy Yankee. We got a lot of great people who came over. I really appreciate everybody. Is there anything else, Empire Esquire TV, that you think people need to take away from the Tasha K, Cardi B case?
Absolutely. I think for the year of 2022, we need to decide that the motto, the mantra for this year is living clean. And by that, I don't mean like, broccoli and stuff, right? That's a great idea. But I mean, living in a way in which if your children, your younger, your niece, your nephew, whoever were to copy your life, you'd be okay with it. And what I mean by that is if you know that you would not want someone to say certain things about you, why say that about another person? This is a very basic concept that will keep you out of legal and personal trouble. If you get arrested and there's a police report, then you would expect someone to report on that, right? It's news. But if something has not been written in a legal document and you are pulling it from wherever, you're not living clean. You're not living in a way in which you would want a younger person following in your footsteps to live. And you most certainly are not treating the other person in a way that you would want to be treated.
Right. I appreciate you saying that. And let me give you a clap on that. Definitely. And let me say, shout out to DJ J Kelly for coming in the house. We got Love to Travel in the house. Wave is in the house. Brother Keith Weston is in the house. This brother has been a big supporter of the channel, like everyone out there in the chat room. Be the Difference Clothing has come in the house today. Let me see your transcripts has come in the house today. Nappy Yankee, we know the man, the voice, the microphone voice. I'm just gonna call him the mic. And and then we've got McGregor's in the house. And a lot of people came through. We got Propane in the house. Thank you for coming over. And Back to the Basics, who's been rocking with me for a long time. Great supporter of the channel, the content. Lion Soar Fitness 77. Thank you for coming over as well. Patora Afro. Appreciate you, sister. The House of X Entertainment Incorporated. Appreciate you. Appreciate everybody who's come in today. Let me ask you this question. And let me put this person up here. We got 100% Real Talk Live. That's a YouTube group that I've dropped this video in, and I'm a member of that YouTube group. I think I'm an administrator. I don't know. I'm an administrator of so many different groups on Facebook. It's crazy. If you had a crystal ball, what's going on, Chaos Rain? What's going on? If you had a crystal ball, because someone earlier said that we YouTubers don't have anything to worry about if we just don't make up stuff about people. But do you think there's going to be a big change coming down the pipeline? Because whether we like it or not, a lot of these celebrities are coming over to YouTube. They see that YouTube is jumping off big time. They see that television ain't really where it's at anymore. Everybody's got their eyeballs on all these hundreds and thousands of YouTube channels over here, and it's taking eyeballs away from regular television. Plus streaming, people are watching streams all day. Do you think from a legal point of view that we have something to worry about down the line, that things are going to change as more celebrities are moving into YouTube and they see our videos and they see themselves on these thumbnails and they're saying, oh, hell no. I'm filing a suit against Info Man and Empire Esquire. I don't like being on your thumbnail. I'm just, a little exaggerative there, but do you think that that we're in for some trouble?
Yes. You took the thought right out of my head. I was recommended, YouTube will recommend random things. And I see YouTube recommended a video and I said, Kerry Washington? Kerry Washington has a YouTube channel? And it had never dawned on me before because I don't watch celebrity YouTube channels.
Right.
But I then decided to do a little search and I discovered that many celebrities have YouTube channels. So where YouTube was once a platform for the everyday person to put out their thoughts and their opinions and converse with other everyday people, it is no longer. It is now yet another place where celebrities are propagating themselves. And undoubtedly, it is going to become a platform that is just another point of access for celebrities. It is no longer going to be a place where, as I said, the everyday person can become enlarged with social capital. Like the everyday person can come onto YouTube and all of a sudden, they're like Damo Wilson with, 1 million whatever followers, and those things are going to change. I believe that celebrities are going to take over YouTube, and it will be no longer that your everyday person can gather that large of a following on YouTube.
I think it's a shame because celebrities already have a platform. Before they even came to YouTube, they already have a way to speak to the masses. And this allowed people like myself and others like you to be able to have a voice and to create our own shows. and to speak the truth that you're not going to always get from your celebrities because they're all beholden to the corporations that tell them what to say and not to say. And I look at it as a bad, I think it's bad, but I'll stop right there. Because I know you were about to say something.
No,
I'm sorry.
I agree with you. It is foreboding. And that is why I salute all of the YouTubers who are actually, making their living on YouTube, who are being honest with the younger people coming in and telling them, you can't rely on this. You cannot think that you're going to be a YouTuber for the rest of your life. You cannot rely on it. And anyone who may be hearing this that may be making money from YouTube now, you cannot rely on it, because all the signs we are seeing says that it is going to change, and it's going to change big time. And with celebrities being on this platform, as Infoman said, they already have their built-in audience, right? So they come over and they're automatically making YouTube tons of money because they're coming with a built-in audience. So of course, they're going to get prioritized over the everyday person who's coming on and starting out with 100 subscribers or whatever. And it has a further implication for people who report on pop culture and celebrity gossip. Because now, if you have a platform that's propagated by celebrities, you can bet that YouTube is not going to propagate celebrity gossip channels, right? They're going to become less of a priority now. YouTube may even straight up demonetize all celebrity gossip content. And they may think win-win. First of all, the celebrity themselves is here. So if you want to know what they're up to, check it out yourself. And number two, no risk for us, no risk for defamation on our part.
Right. And the celebrities would have a easier way to contact YouTube and say, I want that taken down. This YouTuber over here is saying things about me, and I'm making you guys a lot of money with my channel. I want this person shut down. And believe me, who you think YouTube's going to listen to? Oh, Joe Smo or the celebrity? They're going to listen to the celebrity first. You're absolutely right about that. And I could see that coming down here. Look, I listened to Roberto Blake. He's my inspiration, and many other YouTube influencers that inspired me to do this other channel, because I was listening to his podcast one night and he said that you should never give your loyalty to any platform that you don't have an exclusive contract or you're not getting exclusive money from. He says YouTube can drop you like a hot cake. He says the only people that are really making the real money are people like, we got Marcus Brownie, that brother who does the tech. That brother makes millions of dollars, but he's making money outside of YouTube. And then you got that guy who has a exclusive contract with YouTube called Mr. Beast. Those are the only people on YouTube who are making the kind of money that could take on someone like a Cardi B. See, a lot of us within Black YouTube, and we're so small, to be honest with you, Black YouTube is really small. We're smaller than we really know we are. But a lot of us look at Tasha K and we say, man, she's big time. She's got a huge channel. She got all those views, those thousands of views. She is big time. No. She doesn't have an exclusive contract with YouTube. She's not Marcus Brownie, and she ain't Mr. Beast. And I'm not saying this to put the sister down. She has a huge platform. I'm simply saying YouTube has no loyalty, no more than they do to us than they would to Tasha K. The only difference is that Tasha K is able to make YouTube some money. So they may give her more leeway than they would me or you. But at the end of the day, if you have no exclusive contract to YouTube or any entity like this, they don't really need to have any loyalty to you. And I think we need to put that all in perspective. So I really appreciate you coming on and giving us of your time today. And make sure, as always, in this video, ladies and gentlemen, is a description of Empower Esquire TV's YouTube channel. It's in the description of this video. You can click into it, subscribe to her channel, give her support. I thank everybody. We got Miss Fuller, Full Roller in the house. We got Nappy Yankee, Be the Difference Clothing. Empress is in the house. Chaos Rain is in the house. Just a lot of great folks that's in the house here. and we're going to get ready to close the program out. Let everybody know, Empire Esquire, where they can find you at on other social medias, that they can find you. I know you said you got a big project coming up where you're going to give YouTubers advice on how to deal with this sort of situation that Tasha K found herself in with dealing with Cardi B. Let us know more about that particular project and when you suspect you'll be getting it off the ground before we conclude.
Absolutely. So it has been a pleasure. Thank you to Infoman and thank you to his audience. You all are always so wonderful. I would recommend subscribing to my channel. I'm very active in my community tab and I post all of my contact info in my tab. Also, all of my contact info in the description box of my videos, I should say that. But my communication tab will also keep you, my community tab. What is wrong with me? My community tab will also keep you updated on my different social media because currently I'm developing a social media plan. So Empowered Esquire is going to branch out possibly into Facebook and Instagram. So just watch the tab for that. And as far as the workshop, I will be announcing tomorrow, again, in my community tab on my YouTube channel, when and how you can attend the workshop. As I said, it is for content creators, so to make sure it's not overrun, I will be asking you to kind of, prove that you do create content. But it will be totally complimentary for the first certain number of people who show up. So check out my community tab in my YouTube channel tomorrow for that info, which is why I would recommend just subbing to my channel so you can keep up to date.
Okay. Yeah, definitely everybody check out the workshop. And I also think, this is my opinion, you should try to purpose some of your content, or at least the audio, and create a audio podcast either to your channel or maybe some additional audio podcast, because you'd be surprised how many people out there will listen to an audio podcast because they don't have time to look at YouTube videos, but they have time to listen while they're driving in their car. And you could create a whole nother audience for yourself because I do traditional podcasting as well. And I have audience in that podcasting world that they don't necessarily like or have time to look at video content, but they enjoy the audio content. I know because I look at my podcast analytics. I do have a podcast, a YouTube channel, yes, but I also have an audio, which I have on Spotify, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio Podcast. It's all over the place. And in my analytics, there's a whole audience over there who particularly just like audio content, which I try to I make it different from the video content. So I think, and that's something else I'll be talking about on the channel. I think that's an area that you might want to think about doing, because you do know that StreamYards allows you to download the audio portion of your live streams or your short form content, whatever you want to do.
Yes, I totally agree. I did start a podcast, but it wasn't the exact same content. It was different. And that's actually been put on pause because I'm developing that a bit further. I may be doing a podcast with another attorney. So that's going to be very, very interesting. He's an amazing civil rights attorney. And shout out to Nappy Yankee before I head out for real this time. Nappy Yankee did a live stream recently where he said, where are the Johnny Cochrans? Where are the Johnny Cochrans of our time? And I told him, they're there. There are many out there, but they just haven't had that one high profile case to put them into, mainstream and make them a household name. So I won't drop his name yet, but this attorney that I may do a podcast with, we're working out the details, is an amazing civil rights attorney. And I think he's on that level of one of the social justice trial beast of our time. So I put my Empowered Esquire podcast on hold while I work out some details with him.
Yeah, I was on Nappy Yankee's channel yesterday, and he was talking about that he found it kind of interesting that a lot of times when you, it appears like black celebrities and black athletes and well-known people that whenever they find themselves in legal trouble, he notices that it doesn't appear like they always have a black lawyer. And then the question was, where is all the civil rights lawyers out there besides Benjamin Crump and some of the people that we normally see up front on television when something happens? And we were talking about Brother Johnny Cochran. And I was telling him, do you think they really want a whole bunch of Johnny Cochrans and a whole bunch of sisters like yourself, or powerful sisters out there that are lawyers that are taking it to the system? Do you think they really want to promote those type of lawyers that are actually out there that you don't hear about? Or do you think that they possibly will just pick certain people that they think are safe? Come on now, we're in America. We know the history.
Yes. So when you talk about picking certain people that are safe, especially with celebrities, many of these celebrities, they're kind of handed a package, if you will. So for example, they have a manager, and that manager will come in a sort of package with this attorney. And then that comes in a package with this stylist. And then, so they're handed people, and they're kind of told, well, these are your people. And no one has the courage to say, well, you know what? I think I can pick my own attorney. Can I pick my own attorney? Look at Megan Thee Stallion and Rock Nation. She didn't even have the courage to say, actually, I've been doing great on my own, right? So a lot of celebrities are being handed a package of people, and they just accept the package. And the package has the good old boys, because my daddy is the partner at the firm, and my daddy knew Quincy Jones from way back when. And so whenever anybody signs to Universal, they have to retain our firm, and my daddy just hands me clients, right? So that is currently how it works. And that is a lot of why you'll see these celebrities without Black attorneys. No one has the gusto to say, I'm capable of choosing my own attorney.
All right. With that said, I know you have to go. We'll do it again. We'll see what comes down the pipeline that we can get into discussion about. But this is the one I want to ask you before you go. What's going on with the Michael North case? Is he going back to court this month, next month? It seemed like it's all kind of died down a little bit. We haven't heard much noise.
I think he's going back to court in February. I don't remember the exact date though, but I believe that he's back in court as of February. So we shall see if either side is actually ready to go forward to trial.
Okay. Well, we're going to see what comes down the pipeline. I'll be in contact with you as well. I really appreciate your time again. Thank you for giving us your time. The Empowered Esquire TV. Make sure you check out her channel, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you go over and subscribe. In the description of this video is the video that links you to her channel directly. We're going to do it again. We always have great streams together, and I'm sure this stream is going to definitely get a lot of nice views because people like this sort of juicy type topic and what have you. And I thank you for coming over again. So you take care, my sister. Have a great rest of your weekend. I hope to see you soon. And I'll try to, you know what I need to know? I think sometimes when you go live, I'm not able to catch you live because I think when you go live, I'm at the JOB.
Yeah.
So I have to watch your stuff on replay.
It might be because of the time difference. It may, and I tend to go live pretty early because as you hear, and people who are on my channel watching my stuff, they know they're probably giggling when I start to mishmash words. I'm not an evening person. Like by the time it starts to get evening-ish, all of my words start mixing together and I say the wrong words and I'm like, no, because I have such hectic days, you know?
Right. I heard you talking about that and I said, okay, I get it. Yeah, because that's why I do when I do YouTube, most of it's on the weekends. Every now and then I may surprise people with something during the week. It's kind of hard balancing what you're doing in social media like this and at the same time taking care of your personal responsibilities in your life. But you got to do it. Once again, that'll be another topic on that other channel that I'm talking about. That'll be another topic. But once again, thank you for coming over. And I'm going to give you another clap again and you take care of yourself.
Okay, thank you for having me. I'm headed out.
All right, I thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, there it is. The Empowered Esquire has left the building. I really appreciate her coming over and contributing to this discussion. not contributing. She was the damn discussion because she put it where the goats could get it. She told the truth, didn't she?
Tell the truth.
And let me just say this again. Let me preference this again. This video by no means was an attempt to try to trash Tasha K. This wasn't about trying to trash her. It was about trying to look at the facts in the case, dissect it with a lawyer, understand what went wrong, what went right, and what have you. And I think this was more of what I was trying to do, is to warn people, be very careful, tread lightly in the things that you say about these celebrities. If you're going to say it, it has to be what is actually factual. You can't make up anything, or you can't embellish information, because you could find yourself in a situation where a lawsuit for defamation could be put on you as well. So I'm going to say it again. Tasha K has done some fantastic live streams over the years. Let's be honest, folks. She's the one,
Tell the truth.
who broke the story about Michael Norwood, aka Brother Polite. A lot of us who did our own little videos about Polite, we didn't know anything about this until Tasha K served up the cake first. She brought the big fat cake in and then cut little slices for all of us to take little pieces and create content from, because she broke the story. So the sister, in my opinion, if she breaks stories like that and keeps it in a truthful realm, she's doing just fine. But if it goes from a situation where some of the story could be allegedly embellished from the perspective of the celebrity that would sue you, or the celebrity in the case of Cardi B who sued her, then there's a potential that you can be in trouble. She said herself that she's going to take this all the way to Supreme Court. Let's hear the audio right now. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any time with me, here's the audio.
Last 4 years fighting this conspiracy case have been extremely challenging, and yet I wouldn't change a single thing about any of it. I've learned so much. Every moment was incredibly powerful and insightful. The verdict handed down on Monday was no shock to myself, my husband, or my legal team. We are prepared, and we were prepared for this challenge from the beginning. Prepared for the worst, as we said. We called bluff against a machine that wanted to bully me for not wavering from my personal beliefs. A machine that has corporate interests to protect prostitution, drug use, promiscuity, and to glorify the violence that wreaks havoc on our society and in our neighborhoods. And to glorify it's sold to our children as the it factor. This machine, this thing, secured an extremely prejudicial verdict against myself and my company solely off of sympathy and payola. Asking me to redact the real reason as to why I was reporting on the issues at hand, and succeeded in making me out to be an angry and malicious woman. This is a real business. I am a wife of 17 years, a mother to a beautiful 15-year-old girl who's an honors student, and a 2-year-old son. My platform creates news and sheds light on the issues going on in our society. My First Amendment right poses a threat to the machine's sole intention to mislead the public with caricatures built on violence, selling sex, and images of a denounced stereotype. Look at Chicago and LA and various other cities that can't even...
I'm going to stop that right there, because I know many of you have heard the whole 12-minute video that Tasha K put out. I got to say that she's right when she says she's a family. She's married. She has children. She's trying to report the news. I get it. And, but at the same time, we have to be very careful about what we put out there, because the legal system doesn't care what kind of mother you are, what kind of family you have. They don't care about how intelligent your child is. The legal system doesn't care about any of that. And Cardi B didn't care either. Cardi B simply wanted to make Tasha K pay from her perspective, emotionally, pay financially. But Tasha K said that she felt that it was bigger than just the money, that it was about them trying to destroy her livelihood, her business, her company. And that very well may be true. But the thing is, at the same time, that these celebrities are coming on board to these social platforms. And if we say anything that isn't based in facts, that we have actually done the research on to make sure it's facts, it could hurt us in the long run, financially, emotionally, and spiritually. Now, Tasha K very well may have a very good point that Cardi B is not allegedly living the cleanest life. She could be on to something, because we already know that Cardi B got caught admitting to what she did to black men. This is another problem. I have to say this before I end this broadcast. I want to ask the black community, why do we support her music when Cardi B herself was playing her music and her own daughter came walking in the room and she turned it off immediately? Although she sells and packages her music to you and your family, while at the same time making sure that her child doesn't listen to what she's producing. That's not me making up anything. We all saw the video. Then we have Cardi B admitting to drugging, taking men to hotels and robbing them. And then there's people who say, oh, she was 15. No, that's a lie. Cardi B wasn't fit. I was on a channel and someone kept talking about, she was 15 years old. She was just a underage. No, she was not. That's bullshit. Cardi B was in her 20s when this happened. She was of adult age.
Tell the truth.
Certainly when it came out that R. Kelly was having his way with women either underage or of age, we threw him under the bus. We said, hey, he's wrong. When Bill Cosby was being accused of doing things to women 40, 50 years ago, some of these women, by the way, were druggies themselves. Let alone, we denigrated Bill Cosby, but yet Hugh Hefner was a pimp who we celebrated, who came out with a magazine called Playboy. And now after he's passed away, it's come out that there was a lot of sexual misconduct going on in that Playboy mansion that we all grew up idolizing over. Ooh, the Playboy mansion. Yet Cardi B admits to, at one point in time before she got popular in entertainment, she admitted to drugging and robbing men, making them think that they were going back to a hotel room, allegedly, to get sex. And she admitted that she would rob them. And then allegedly, it was said, allegedly, I got to say that, allegedly it was said that she would let her friends of a certain sexual persuasion, you know what I mean, have their way with these men when they were unconscious, meaning they were already, out, and that these men would wake up and they were robbed. And therefore, men, when men are harassed by women like this, are mistreated by ladies like this in that kind of state, we're not going to go out and admit that we were sexually used by women. It's just, as a man, you just don't operate like that. It makes you look like you're not a man. Now, for anybody that says, hey, Info, now you're speculating, bullshit. Let me play the video. Let's run the damn video. I'm not going to stop this stream until I get this point out here, because we support a woman who, by the way, she ain't black. But people support her, play her music, and if she was a man and said what she said, this is the question. If she was a man rapper, even though she says that male rappers say the same thing, but if she was a male rapper, would all the women, all the ladies out there celebrate Cardi B? Let's play Exhibit A. Let's play Exhibit A right now, what she said out of her own mouth. Here we go again. She drugged them and she would rob them. She said out of her own mouth, that's what I would used to do. And I can't be sued because I'm not making up anything. It comes right out of her own mouth. Let's go to Exhibit B, the news report. Here we go.
Information is power.
Well, there's some backlash brewing against Grammy Award-winning rapper Cardi B after a revealing Instagram live video she posted 3 years ago has now resurfaced over the weekend. In the 45-second video, which we're showing you with the sound down, she describes what she says she had to do to make it in the music industry, even admitting she drugged and robbed men who wanted to have sex with her while she was a stripper. That video and topics around it have been trending all throughout the day today. Some Twitter users even comparing her to Bill Cosby and R. Kelly. Ron and Aisha are here. We've been talking about this a lot today. So I want to show you guys this tweet first from a Twitter user who said, Bill Cosby and Cardi B are both criminals in my eyes. Only difference, one is female and popular in the media right now. She deserves the same treatment and punishment as him. Do you guys agree?
It's robbery. I believe that is just straight up robbery. I know there's a lot
of
drugging. And drugging. I mean, so there's two charges
felonies.
They're felonies. I don't know if there's a statute of limitations. But the bottom line, you can't blame other rappers. It is robbery. It's a crime.
Aisha?
I totally agree with that. But the difference in this scenario here is that she came out and took full responsibility for it. I always think the public looks at this different when you own up to what you did. So I can appreciate Cardi B for that. And there was no alleged sexual assault involved. So I don't feel that you can put her in a category with an R. Kelly or a Bill Cosby. The hashtag on Twitter is surviving Cardi B, you know, like the surviving R. Kelly documentary. If there's no alleged sexual assault, hey, if someone comes out and says that, then okay, cool, you can possibly compare. But yes, robbery, drugging, felonies, you did that.
Yeah, but you know what?
I want to get to this because we're running out of time. Right. So she did respond. She gave a statement on Instagram. More than 1 million people liked this post on Instagram. Wow. She said, I'm a part of a hip hop culture where you can talk about where you come from, talk about wrong things you had to do to get where you are. And she goes on to say that she doesn't agree with the things that she did in her past. And also there's men in the rap culture who have said similar things and they don't get the same thing. So is it a double standard?
Well, bottom line, if there's any guys out there, if they were the victims, I'm telling you, they're not going to come forward because they're embarrassed by all of that.
All right.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his
What's
channel.
up to Trap Vision 3D?
Tell the truth.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
Up to the house. Don't feel like getting out. I'ma just lay back and crack this window.
Tell the truth.
As I've just shown you folks, Exhibit A, Exhibit B. I showed you the audio of her saying these things out of her own mouth. Of course, they had to bleep a few. I showed you the actual legitimate news report. So nothing I just said about Cardi B was inflammatory or defamation whatsoever, because I didn't make anything up. I simply followed what was in the news report and what came out of her own mouth. When you report on celebrities or anyone in that manner, that could keep you out of a lot of legal problems. That's what you have to employ. You have to employ real truth journalism, content creation, and you have to also speak the truth.
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth. And you cannot create news. That's the key word here. Do not create news. You simply report on news. You give a opinion. You give a analysis of it. Yes, but you cannot create news. By creating news, you are making up new stuff. Don't do that. That's where we will find ourselves in a lot of problems on YouTube or any other platforms. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to put this on the screen right now. And I would like you to check out Info Media weekly videos on YouTube, tips and live streaming, gear reviews. I'm doing it real big on that channel. You can subscribe to that channel right now. You will see 2 videos on that channel, but those videos will not make up the bulk of the content. I was experimenting with a few things, and that channel is going to be loaded with me giving you step-by-step how to create your YouTube channel, how to live stream, how to push your influence into Facebook and other social medias, what have you. You will see me from time to time go out and about with my camera and talk about live streaming, talk about life, things that we all would enjoy, because right now live streaming is where it's at. More people have their eyeballs on this content, live streaming content, than they are television and actual real news. So I want you all to go over there and subscribe to that channel. I have not put the link out for it, but that's just the name. You put in there Info Media, you will see the channel. You'll see a picture of me on the banner art, and I will be giving you all the tricks and tips, how to do your banner art, where you can find banner art, how to put certain things. There's some of you who have YouTube channels right now, you might not have your YouTube settings and your customized page set up right. And I'm going to be going over that with you. So look at that right there. That is coming to you very soon. That's Info Media. The page has already been created. I'll be launching content very, very soon. So get over there, subscribe to that channel right now, and be a part of what I've got going on over there. Specifically, if you're a content creator, there's a lot of things that I'm going to tell you that's going to help you. There's a certain way that you want your channel to be set up so that when people find your channel on their cell phones, it's easier for them to see your content and they can get to your content and understand what your channel is about, because more people watch YouTube on their cell phones than they do the desktop. So you want your YouTube channel to be set up effectively on your desktop. These are the sort of tips and advice and strategies that can help you. If you want to know how do you go about getting 1,000 subscribers, 100 subscribers, there are certain strategies that you must employ. And it takes time. It takes time. Even with this channel that I have here, this channel is still growing and developing over a period of time in different phases. That's just the way YouTube works. I already know that my content on this channel is not the kind of content that YouTube is going to favor to push all over the place. Because why? This channel, we do a lot of controversial content. We do a lot of questioning society, analysis, and YouTube doesn't like that. Unless you have a certain complexion of a protection, you can get away with it. If you don't, they will shadow ban you. So with that said, I thank everybody for coming over and joining the channel. Let me just say to everybody, we got Keith Weston in the house. We got Mick Guire is in the house. Thank you for coming over. Chaos Rain. Let me see here. Pator Afro. And we got my man Trap Vision 3D is in the house. Make sure y'all check his channel out. We got a lady 747. A lady 747. I had quoted what you said on Nappy Yankees channel to the Empower Esquire, and she thought it was a very interesting point. But she said that she admitted that she felt that it wasn't the right type of counsel. Let me see who else we have here. So it looked like everybody's bouncing out of here. Oh, we got the Empress is in the house. Be the Difference Clothing's in the house. Sir A. Jones is in the house. Thank you for coming over, Sister Jones. Appreciate you. And we got Angelica, who's still in the house here. I got to get out of here, folks. I really appreciate everybody again. And let me thank Brother Ben out there. This is on Roku TV. And I want to thank Brother Ben, who of the BS3 network. If you want to watch me on Roku TV, just go over to the BS3 network. The brother does sports over there. There's a variety of different content on the network. And I'm a part of that network on Roku TV. So you can always check me out on there. Usually when I go live on Sundays, I'll be live on there. The other content that I don't go live with, they'll just load it up as on-demand content. So I want to thank Brother Ben out there if he's listening. Everybody a part of that BS3 family, thank you. And we're going to get on out of here. And with this said, everybody have a good day, good evening, good night. I'll be back with more content. Once again, check out the Info Media channel, Info Media. Subscribe. I've got content coming your way. Take care. Peace, everybody.
Tell the truth.
Peace.
You don't listen that much. Some of y'all don't listen at all. The same shit they be pushing your buttons. Got a grown man having withdrawals. I don't mind if you don't listen that much. Yo, I just mind what you say for the crowd. Cause some of y'all don't listen at all. Some of y'all don't answer that call. Realize the movie that I was watching, it's the end of the world. Illuminati is coming. Gather the boys and girls and watches it all unfurls. They clutching at all they pearls and no one asking for guidance. Stimulus check, won't you cash app that? I got niggas and they said that respect they black. Politicians and they said don't know how to act. That's why we sitting on the wrong track. Back to the long track. And it's okay to be rich. My mama always told me I was destined for greatness. But my mama also, she told me take care of the kids and everybody around the world that can't fight for it. So it's Hakuna Matata, beast on the water, pray to provider. Please don't divide us. Keep that and try to face your intruder to be someone brighter. Yeah, hold them on if you don't listen that much. Some of y'all don't listen at all. Same shit they be pushing your buttons. Got a grown man having withdrawals. I don't mind if you don't listen that much. Yo, I just mind what you say for the crowd. Cause some of y'all don't listen at all. Some of y'all don't answer that call.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
I just found what you say for the crowd. Some of y'all don't listen at all. Some of y'all don't answer that call.
Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
Yo, I pitch wisdom for the kidsdom. Solid as a prism, keeps a funky rhythm. If I want it, I go and get it. My blood thicker than water, we up like a zipper. My jeans seems got ashes from the plane. I'm elevating and crashing in the bed, but instead I hit my rooftop and watch the world go. Penning this shit inside my journal. Look up at the stars as I burn slow. Head to the Ville over by Strauss. We in the house with the herbo. As I throw on my starter, once my ignition start up, it's go time. And we ain't even hit our prime in no time. In the city living, spending past our limits. Put my all up in it, only play to win it. What's the status quo, what's the scenario? Kicking mad flavor as for hoes, we don't save a dough. Put them to the side like a page of dough. Cut them off clean like a tape up dough. Really think you dream until you wake up though. Everything is custom, if they ain't want it then fuck them. If they ain't part of the process, can't trust them. Double cup and sipping, bought a Neuro, eating churros. Shorty ass fat like a sumo, and I'm high off the Chillin' with the crew, playing Uno. Niggas tryna front, but it's cool though. We on our way up, so it's kudos. Tryna get the moolah, cop a tudo. I need a big crib with a blue nose. Step into my dreams like it's Euro. Playing pool with the cool vibes by the poolside. Shorty asked me what's my shoe size. She think I'm too fly, but I'm really too high. And I ain't with the rah-rah. Hit her and tell her bye-bye. Already got my nala. Young Simba in the flesh on the high ride. It's all about the commas and the dollar. Devils wear Prada. It's just another saga. It's just another saga. Mental health check, wallet on me check. Another day check. We put them in check. Spliffs on me check.
Tell the truth.
On deck. Checks on check. On to the next. Mental health check. Wallet on me check. Another day check. We put them in check. Spliffs on me check. We got it on deck. Checks on check. On to the next. 84 pull up out the lot slow. Not scroll, but the knowledge we got lots for. Kim trippin', I could too do the impossible. My legacy forever, but this body better rot slow. I do this for my kids, they're my kids' kids. My kids' kids and they kids' kids. One to one is who I'm is. Plus I'm so upstate, you see it's tatted on my ribs. Okay, 1 + 1 = 2.
Tell the
you
truth.
knew that. Got that check and your dumb ass blew that. You don't have a savings cause you don't trust banks. But you can't talk money cause your shoebox blank. Empty, been on the edge, don't tempt me. I'd rather own less than be renting. Don't tempt me, buy the whole block, don't
Tell the
tempt
truth.
me. Don't tempt me. Mental health check, wallet on me check. Another day check, we put them in check. Spliffs on me check, we got it on deck. Checks
Tell the
on
truth.
check, on to the next. Mental health check, wallet on me check. Another day check, we put them in check. Spliffs on me check, we got it on deck. Checks on check, on to the next.
Everybody out there, thank you for watching the Information Man show. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. Rest of your weekend, a great week. I'll be back with more presentation. Everybody in the chat room, I love you. You make the show go. All the support I've been getting. Y'all been rocking with me heavy, and I appreciate it. Take care.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.